Hi, Andrew, Lone Wolf. How are you today, guys? Only got the 3 cameras today. I got a little bit more stock out last night. Added it to my system. Give them all a little run around. So a few more bits and pieces running today. It's all a mix match of stuff. So how are you guys today? It is blowing a storm here in Donegal. The wind is howling. The rain is lashing out of the skies. But I'm nice and warm here in the shed, apart from having a 1 foot that's soaking wet because I stepped in a puddle. My shoes are leaking. So I'll let you watch the trains run around for a little while. And then what I'm going to do is stick a chip in this. I haven't run it yet. Put a chip in it and let it run around. And I'll show you putting the chip in it. It's quite simple. It's not doesn't have to be hardwired in. It's a DC ready loco, so just have to check to see whether the chip goes into the tender of this one or into the main body. Oh, it looks like it goes into the main body. Hi, Michael. Hi, Graham. Yeah, it's very wet, windy here. So I'm going to be putting a chip into this railroad mallard, Hornby Railroad, and giving it a run. So I'll move the camera over in a minute and you can just watch me do it. So this is first time out of the box for this. Oh, it's actually got sprung buffers. It actually looks quite a nice model. I don't think it's quite railroad, but I don't think it's super detailed either. The sprung buffers, proper little brass bits for the whistles and the release valves. So maybe this is like their Railroad Plus range. It says railroad on the box. Hi, Carl. Hi, Pete. Yeah, I like to do things different here, Pete. Unboxing off camera. Who wants to see somebody take something out of a box anyway? I'll show you the actual model. Now it's out of the box. There it is. See, spring buffers. Actual seems like metal bits for the safety valve on the whistle. So I'll put a chip in that in a moment. I'll move the camera over when I'm doing that so you can see me destroy it. Oh, you went past Capita, did you? Is it Church Road it was on? The big building used to be Northgate. Yeah, I used to be in there. Yeah, it's a good few years now since I worked for Capita. Yeah, no, it's not one of Chris's. Oh, look what I just noticed. Spot what's wrong with it. That's how it came out of the box. And there we have Hornby quality control. So what we've got running at the moment is the Bon Accord, which is out of one of Hornby's digital sets. And we have the Harry Potter running around as well. And a J83 with a load of wagons behind it. Capital have a lot of contracts. They do a lot of different things. They have their fingers in a lot of pies. Yeah, it's good quality control there, Hardcore by Hornby. I'll have to try and fix that later on. Hi, Brian. How you doing? So the work I want to try and get completed this week on the layout is do all the wiring for the points, wire in the power supply and the CDUs, put the switches in for them. So at the moment I'm sort of manually controlling them. Want to get that done this week, and then look at putting in the double slips and the points and everything for crossing over. So at the moment they can't cross from one line to another. Right, let's put this in a cradle, start taking it apart. There we go. My little precision screw bits. £1 from Poundland. Yeah, a lot of hours and work's gone into this, but I've had a lot of free time recently. This is the tricky bit. Take it out. Oh, still attached there. Try and take it out without bending or damaging the running gear. And there it is. So you can see the blanking plate is there. So it's a matter of taking that off. Pin 1 is marked out and putting the chip in. So I'll set that to one side while I get the chips. And it's my last chip. It's a bit of both, because I'm an independent contractor. A lot of my work has dried up, but I am still doing bits and pieces of work when I can. But I know once this is over, I will have to hit the ground running. So I'm doing as much of this now while I can, because I know come June the 21st, when everything's back to normal, because I work mostly in the UK, even though I live in Ireland, I'll have to hit the ground running. Right, you can see this is an 8-pin. And you can see the 1 marked beside that pin there. And you know, on an 8-pin decoder, if you can make out by the orange wire there's a little mark. I don't think it's picking it up. Let's see if I can get it to focus a bit better. There, you can just about make out the mark by the orange wire. So you always know the orange wire is pin 1. Oh, excuse me. And just push it home. That's it. Now, look at this now, see where the space is for that to fit. Let's see if it'll fit in like that. I'm just doing a loose fit now just to see. Oh yeah, there's loads of room in there. I can just tape it to the top. Oh, 5G. You know, that's what will be controlling us all once they put the chips in. If you, one of the most ridiculous conspiracy theories I ever heard of. You see, just a little bit of tape just to hold the chip in place, stop it moving around. It's got heat shrink on it already, so it's all isolated. That's the fiddly bit, getting the screws back in. Where did the other screw go? Hi, Karen. How you doing? This bit of blue foam that I'm using actually came as a packing piece on the picture I bought. Oh, this is turning into a nightmare putting this screw in. Ah! This is why I painted the floor grey and put kickboards in, so I can't lose any screws under the layout. And they're easy to spot against the grey. Oh, managed to damage a handrail. Yeah, I'm good, Kieran. Right. There we go. Now put it on the programming track. This is the bit that takes ages. Anybody else use Railmaster? Right, I'll put the camera back over so you can see some trains. Will I try and program this? Did I miss anything in the chat while I was doing that? Mallard. Oh, I have it in the database. That's something. And I suppose I'll allocate 68 to it. I think I've used that number before. Try and use their running numbers if I can. I'll write that to it. Yeah, they're quite handy, or I've got a couple of soft blankets that I lay down if I'm doing anything. And I usually have, if I'm stripping something down, I'll have a piece of paper on the side with a pen. So if I take something out, I can put it down right beside it where it is, where it goes. And also take photos on my phone as well. So you can just go through it. Right, that was written. And allocate it. Oh, I didn't save that. I really think there is something wrong with this Railmaster. It seems you have to enter the loco twice before it. Yeah, see, it hasn't registered it even though I saved it. So now I have to go and enter it again. Yeah, that is the Harry Potter train with the light on the front. I put a chip in that last night. The train's not actually mine, it's my daughter's. So when I put it on the line, I got her to come in here and actually to control it. So she's obviously not watching, or she'd be in here going, "Oi, that's my train." Right, let's write the address to it again. Oh, why is he stopped? A gold-plated one. Right, that should be it, program. Yeah, I think I've got the old. Sorry if I deafened anyone. I forgot I had my mic on. I was blowing some dust off. There's part of it there. It's having a bit of a refurb. Right, anyway, let's put Mallard with her upside down nameplate on the track and see if we can get her going. I hope she doesn't take off a breakneck speed, because that 56, I put a chip in it and it just shot off. And from 0 to 100 in a matter of seconds. Here she comes. Of course, you can't see her now because I should be able to pick her up coming around on camera 2 shortly. We're going past camera 4. Or it'll actually hit a loco I had sitting on there that I forgot about. Oops. I thought that was in a siding. In comes the hand of God. Oh God, there's going to be a disaster. Yeah, when little things like that fall off things, they are very fiddly to refit. We'll just crank Mallard up a little bit, just to give her a run. Don't want her going too fast. Just let her run in for, say, 10-15 minutes, and then put her in reverse for 10-15 minutes. Oh, she didn't like points. Now it shorted everything out. just check the back-to-backs. Oh, I got it wrong. And let's reset. Right. My trouble with this Railmaster, it seems to take about 2 or 3 minutes to reset. Here's me back-to-back. It's a 5-finger crane, yeah. Now it keeps shorting. Something's shorting. Let's reset it again. It's not happy about something. I had this the other day when I was putting it together. It kept shorting out, and I couldn't figure out why. I spent hours at it checking everything. And I decided to come back the next day. And then straight away I spotted what I'd done wrong. I put in electrofrog without putting insulating fish plates on it. Rookie mistake, but right, now what's causing it to short? Did I knock anything? A lot of these wires I don't have soldered in place yet. They're just twisted in, so they can quite easily get knocked and cause a short. So that's sort of my work to do this week, is to solder them all in place. Now they're tested and I know they're all working. I put a screwdriver down on the track somewhere. Done that before. Yeah, Mallard is off the track. So it's not that. All the other trains just stopped when it shorted, so it shouldn't be any of them. And the point where it came off is set correctly and the wiring set on that. I will just give the system a minute while I check everything. Have a look. Because when it hit the point on the outer loop, that's when it derailed and shorted everything out. And there's nothing over there. If I switch the point the other way just to see. Let's see if it resets with it like that. Could be just the wiring somewhere. You can't actually see the floor here, but I've got boxes out all over the floor. I was getting everything out last night. Let's take 50 off. Right, there must be something wrong with that point, so I'll have to check that later on because I've switched it and it seems to be holding now. Right, we'll start everything off again, see what happens. All right, is everything running again? Now there's one feed that goes around feeding all the rails because it's DCC, the rails are all live all the time. Now, obviously, when it hit that point and derailed, it's done something to that point. As I said, the connections aren't soldered in place yet, so it could be just it's knocked them, and once they're soldered in place, they'll be fine. But that's the sort of work I want to get done this week while I'm testing the track. Right, I'm going to put Mallard back on again, but I'm going to run her the other way. Just see what happens. Because, you know, it's not like Hornby, you know, to give out a loco that doesn't run properly and you have to do the back-to-backs and everything on it first. Hi, Rock Peddler. Oh, that's nasty. Blue 5 locos. That's going to be expensive. Sorry to hear that, Rock Peddler. Anyway, welcome to the stream. Now, if I show you hardcore, I'll just move the camera around here so you can see there you have the droppers coming down and they go onto the bus wire. And similar over here where you have all the rails coming down. I don't know if that's too dark, whether it's picking it up. They all feed onto the bus wire. So as long as you test it while you're putting it together, you shouldn't hit any issues. Like I knew it was something with that point because that's where Mallard derailed and caused the short. So I just have to go back and check the wiring on that point. No, they're all soldered in. So once it's all in and all the wires are soldered in place, you shouldn't have a fault with the wiring. That's why, as I was doing it, I would test each section of track, make sure it was working, and then move on to the next section once I was happy. Because I have the wiring convention of black to the back. That's why I use black and red for my droppers. So all the way around the layout, I know the back rail is where the black wire should be soldered to. And then black is the neutral, so it goes to the blue wire, and red is the live, and it goes to the brown wire. Lucky my dad's a Sparky electrician, so I spent a lot of time with him when I was younger, learning about wiring and convention. So, because in the early 80s, the mains cable in houses used to be black and red. It's only in the last 20 years where they've changed over to brown and blue. That's in the UK and Ireland. I know it's different in the States and elsewhere in Europe. But that's why it's important to have a wiring convention. And what I do as well, just to remind me, is when I'm wiring up the layout, I will, where this power source is going, I will write what everything is, just so I know. So I have a reference to go back to. Because when you do this, you try to keep these things in your head, but it doesn't always stick. Okay, Mallard's just doing something strange. It's just going backwards and forwards by itself. Now it's away again. Not sure what that was about. Maybe there's something wrong with that chip that I put in. It's not going very smooth. It seems to be very jerky. Okay, keep an eye on that. And this stopped over here again. Yeah, so once I'm happy with this track plan and everything's working and tested, I'll start the scenery. Hopefully maybe next week I can get cracking on that. And then building the station platforms. I've got some, I was digging around last night. And I got some of these. So I've got this stone one and I've got a brick one as well. So I'm going to put them along the back wall behind the station. That's the plan anyway. So I'll put some lights and different bits and pieces in it. And I was looking on the Metcalfe website last night as well. You can actually download curtains and extra chimneys and that. So you can put curtains in the windows and everything just to give it a bit more realism. And I've got some flashing sort of amber yellow lights, which I'll put in in the downstairs rooms to sort of mimic an open fire. And put a couple of street lights on the back lane just to, for a little bit more realism. So what do you guys think of the plan so far for here, the track plan that I've laid out? I think it'll work quite well once I put the crossovers in place. I got some double slips I've got to fit in. I'm going to do that sort of in this area here, where the four lines are actually close together. This is where the sort of crossover points are going to be, with points going off to the corner for the TMD and the engine shed. So plenty of work to keep me busy. And I'm going to try and make a tree this week, I think. I was going to start it last night, but I didn't get around to it. So hopefully that'll be the video that's out on Friday, my attempt of a tree. We'll see how it stacks up against Tim's. The room it's in, Rock Pebbler, is like just over 10 foot wide by 13 foot. So that's just over about 3.5 meters by 4 meters. The baseboards are 3 foot wide, so just about a meter wide. And there's 2 levels. The level below is just purely for storage. Some of it may get incorporated into the scenic area. So some of this here, some of this low level track here, I might incorporate this into the scenic area just to give you, actually you'll have 3 sort of levels of track then. But all this here is just purely storage sidings. But, let's see, when did I actually start building this? It must have been around last September, October time, was it? Because I was doing the 6x4 layout before that for the museum. And then I was actually able to clear this place and clear space. Start it, so. It's amazing how much time it takes to lay track, or to build the baseboards and lay the track. Like, I think it probably took me 60 to 70 hours to lay all this track, because I wanted to put it down carefully. I used track setters and spacers and everything, try to get it as straight as possible. Now I know if you look on camera too there, looking down, some of those tracks have to be straightened out, but I was just keen to join the tracks up so I could actually have some trains running. But it's coming together. I'm happy with it so far. Like, I'll have the TMD and the engine shed areas to add a bit more interest to it as well, and a bit more. I'm going to try and put some sort of scenic break between the two, so you have sort of steam one corner and modern diesel the other. But it's actually nice to see the trains running. Sometimes It's just nice just to sit here and watch them go around. It's always very satisfying as well when they actually put the track down and they're going around and they don't derail and they don't stop, and it's just like, but once I get the crossovers in, then this area coming down here, I'll be able to have more trains running up and down the incline as well. So I should be able to make it so it can be one massive like figure of 8 loop. If I get the speed matching right, I could possibly have 3 trains running on that loop because it's so long. Yeah, so far on this layout now, I have used, I think, about 3.5 boxes of flexi track. In fact, it's closer to 4 boxes of flexi track I've used. So that box is 25 yards, so that's a good bit of track down. Don't forget to hit the like button for me, guys, and subscribe if you're new here, if you like what you're seeing. And if you've got any questions, just stick them in the comments. As long as it's train related, I'll try and answer it. Yeah, so lots of things to do here to keep me busy. Scenery, building the areas. I want to put lights in the carriages. I've got a load of capacitors now, so I can build stay alives for the carriages as well to stop the light flicker. I'll put some also I'm going to try and with those flickering LEDs I was on about, I'm going to try and put some of those in some of the fireboxes just to see if I can get that glow. So lots of projects. And never mind the other layouts I've got to build as well, the ones in the railway centre, that end-to-end layout, which I'm hoping to build and hope it's good enough to take around to shows. But that's going to be another year. I fitted the point motors as I went, because that was the easiest way to do it. What point motors are you going to be using? I stuck with the analog system. I just like having the switches to flick instead of doing it through DCC. I used red lights. Did you hardcore? Yeah, I forget where I was. I was on some website and I came across these just little 2mm LEDs, and they've got the flicker built into them. They're 3-volt LEDs, so I was going to use them, to give that flicker effect in houses and that to look like there's a fire burning, and the fireboxes, the steam engines. Hi Tim, how are you doing today? Oh, you got your shopping delivered? Yeah, the flicker is better. It just gives a bit more realistic effect. I don't know if I'll have some adult themes on this layout, because there is Knock. There is quite a few interesting figures you can get. I was at a show once, and there was a particular layout, and they had little competitions, and they'd give the kids a particular one, find the Yeti and all this sort of thing on it, and then there's one they gave to the dads, which was, you had to find so many naked ladies, so many different things. Oh, you're going to use the Megapoint system? Yeah, I did look at that, and I was thinking, nah, just prefer the manual. I just got normal solenoid motors with CDU, used some diodes to make route settings on different ones. Find the naked Yeti, yeah. Oh, so you'd go around there. Sure enough, they had all these women out. Most of them were like sunbathing on top of roofs and things. Yeah, X-rated model trains. But I don't know if you've seen some of those. I think it's Knock who do those figures, the sexy scenes figures. When I came across them, I was very surprised. It's like, who would put that on their model railway? I was just saying, Tim, this week I'm going to try and make a tree and do a video of it and see how it turns out. So that might be my video out on Friday. So compare it to yours. Trees, that is. Well, that mallard's going around quite happily. I might just yeah, I've seen Alan had a few things on there. Was that the vicar's wife he had, who like going around flashing or something? Is that the story he had? I thought that was very funny. I was wondering if it was worth it joining the Hornby Club and the Backman Club. How are you, Duncan, anyway? It's good to see you here. I presume you were just lurking in the background. Now, what did that fall off? Oh, is that a thing? The Hornby shops will give you a discount. Oh. So it's just that make the Hornby products then the same prices you get from Hatton's or Kierna or, well, used to be Rails. Oh, that's all right, Duncan. You tune in whenever you can. You can always get the replay. So this is just an hour of running trains, having a chat. You can see what I'm doing. So I've got the 4 loops almost completed, just on the back half. I just need to do the crossovers and then that'll be them done. There's a lot of those little fiddly jobs now that have to be done, but you don't like doing. So I just need to spend an evening or two out here with the soldering iron, doing all the leads. I have a 16 volt power supply somewhere that I need to find to hook up for the points. We've got a couple of CDUs to put in around the place. So I guess I should be doing it instead of just stood here chatting. Yeah, it's getting there. So hopefully now, maybe next week, I can start the scenery. I'm going to start wrapping that up now, guys. My tummy's rumbling. I want to go and get myself some lunch. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Back again tomorrow. I'll see if I can bring some different trains up and running tomorrow, so they can all shake their cobwebs off, because they've all been sat in boxes for a few years. So don't forget to hit the like for me and subscribe if you're new here. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow, 12:30. Adios, Rock Peddler. Thanks for tuning in. And Brian and Hardcore and Duncan and Tim, if you're still there, and Kieran, Andrew, Pete. Who have I missed out? Lone Wolf, are you still there? I'm sure I've probably forgotten somebody. Oh, Carl. How could I forget you, Carl? Right, see you all tomorrow, guys. Bye.